Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we welcome you to our game this evening. Before we get into the game and introduce our players, we have a young man that we'd like to recognize here this evening that has spent many years helping student athletes throughout the Pacific Northwest, all over the Northwest, community college players, four-year players, high school players. We've all seen him wherever we go, just about. High school tournaments. He has reffed many NWAC tournaments, and again, directing and helping student athletes. Just a tremendous man, a person that whenever you see him, regardless of where you're at, he always remembers you. He is always very friendly, and that's one of the dear things that I like about this young man. Tonight, as I understand it, this will be his last official regular season game refereeing in the NWAC. I think he probably is going to go on perhaps and do the NWAC tournament and maybe some more things like that. But after tonight, after 42 years, Mr. Bob Rose is retiring. On behalf of Centralia College, the athletic department, our athletic director, Mr. Bob Peters, would like to present you Mr. Bob Rose. Put that on. Centralia blue, Centralia College blue. We got him right in that, a nice jacket. How about that? He's always fun to be around. Always doing a great job. He had no idea this was happening, but it's an honor, Bob. It's an honor to get to do this, and it's an honor that you are retiring here on Centralia College court. So what, again, an honor that is. Thank you, sir. He's apologizing already. That's the young man that Bob is. Like I say, always a friend. Bob, you want to say anything? Thank you. You're sure welcome. Thank you for helping the many people out. How about a nice hand? Mr. Bob Rose, 42 years. And he's only 49 years old. All right, thanks for that. Thanks for your pause. Thanks, gentlemen. We appreciate that as well. I'd like to introduce the starting lineup now for the Tacoma Titans. Thanks, gentlemen. A 6'3" freshman, number 1, David Gethers. A 6'3" freshman, number 3, Isaiah Flynn. A 6'5" freshman, number 4, Anthony Harper. And a 6'3" freshman, number 10, Mark Blackwell. And another freshman at 6'3", number 15, Andrew Lewis. And the rest of the Titans, head coach, Mr. Jesse Brown, and Jordan Kobe, his assistant. Now the starting lineup for the Trailblazers. A 6'3" freshman, number 0, Marcy Rogers. 6'3" freshman, number 4, Colin Malone. 6'7" sophomore, 21, Patrick Broussard. A 5'7" freshman, number 22, Kyle North. And a 6'7" sophomore, 32, John Dumais. The rest of the Blazers. Head coach, Mr. Jason Moyer, Dave Klovedal, and Van Lockett. Our officials, Mr. Bob Rose, Mr. Jim Appleby, and Mr. Tom Spitznagel.
All right, thank you, Jerry Owens, for that special recognition there. We have Patrick Broussard to jump for the tip. Centralia will be will be wearing yellow uniforms with blue numbers and white letters. And then Tacoma will be black with blue numbers and white trim.
Something interesting here is every single member of this Titans team, they're all freshmen. So this whole team is just starting fresh. Well, pun not intended, but that they're just starting nice and fresh. And so it'll be interesting to see how all these young guns compete against some of the more veteran sophomores on our team.
So the smaller number 24, Anthony Harper, outjumps Patrick Broussard to win the tip for Tacoma. And up top's number 3, Isaiah Flynn, passes it to number 15, back out to number 10, Marcus Blackwell. Out to number 15, that's Andre Lewis. Number 3 with the shot, Flynn, no good. Rebound Centralia, but he is on the line, so as the ball goes out of bounds, they're going to call possession to Tacoma.
Great closeout by Colin Malone on that one. He was able to help and get there just in time and to bother the shot.
Inbound for Tacoma, close to 5 seconds, and then close to a backcourt violation there as number 1, David Gethers, takes it receives the inbound. Tacoma setting up the offense. Colin Malone guarding tightly on the ball. Centralia in a man defense here. Actually, they're in a zone here, some sort of zone. And 3-point shot, first basket is good for the Tacoma Titans. It's 3-0. Tacoma with the early lead. Kyle North set him to offense for his team. Kyle North, local talent out of Rainier, Washington. So passes to Rogers up at the top of the key, passes to Dume. Dume from the right corner, puts the shot no good. Rebound by number 4, big Anthony Harper. Skies for the board there for Tacoma.
Hey, don't count out Dume though. He just got out of the game against Green River. He actually dropped 22 points, had 8 boards, and was 67% from the field.
Great hands that time now by Centralia to knock it out of the way. Number 1 now with the basketball for Tacoma, passes it to number 3, Flynn. Flynn skip passes it over to the corner, shots up, no good, off the backboard, rebound Tacoma, shots up, no good by Harper, and another opportunity by Tacoma. And player from the Titans saves possession, and they set it up top. 18 minutes, 24 seconds left to go here in the first half. Titans with the basketball, look inside to feed the post. Tip it back outside, and shot clock violation as Tacoma was unaware of the clock there. 18 minutes, 16 seconds left to go in the first half. Tacoma with the early 3-0 lead here. If you're just tuning in, Kyle North running the point for Centralia, number 22, 5'7" freshman. Colin Malone with the basketball up at the top of the key, being guarded tightly by number 4, Harper. Feeds it into Broussard. Broussard finds Dume cutting the lane. Dume turns and puts it in. Dume, great job there using his height advantage to put it up and over the Tacoma defender. Scores now 3-2 with 17 minutes, 45 seconds left to go here in the first half. Dume denying the pass there. Great job by jumping in the passing lane and tipping it away. And still come after the steal, Centralia's coming the other way. Point guard Kyle North, good pass fake to get the defense moving. Dribbles to the right, gets a double team, passes it out to Dume. Dume ball fakes back to Colin Malone at the top of the key. Colin Malone looks in at Dume. Dume spin moves, gives it to Rogers. 12 seconds left on the shot clock. Rogers has to look to do something with it quick. Passes it to Dume at the top of the key. Shots up, no good. Tried to get the bounce, but couldn't get it to go in. So now the score remains 3-2 with just over 17 minutes left to go here in the first half. Tacoma with the basketball.
A couple of plays ago, we saw a complete lack of blocking out on Centralia's side. There was no yellow jerseys in the black jerseys. So I just hope that was an early hiccup, and because that'll be a real problem for them.
3-point shots up and in as number 1, David Gethers, gets the friendly roll, putting his team up by 4 points, 6-2. Tacoma with the early lead here, just over 3 minutes ticked away on the clock. Patrick Broussard with the ball at the right post. Just got nice feed right on the right block, put it up and in. Good usage of the backboard, making it a 2-point ball game. 6-2, Titans with the early lead. Dume again poking it away, and it's Kyle North coming up with the steal, pushing it in transition, sets up the offense for Centralia.
I'll tell you what, Kyle North is really showing that he appreciates this start, and he's going to prove it. He's going to prove that he deserves this spot.
Yeah, Kyle North got the start last game, as we've seen Centralia is having some struggles early on in the season and looking for something to make a change. And Kyle North quickly changing that around for the better for Centralia. And now unforced turnover there as number 3, Isaiah Flynn, walks with the basketball. 15 minutes, 55 seconds left to go in the first half. Centralia will inbound it, and again it will be Kyle North setting up the offense for his team. Kyle North looking to step up and play the role of leader of this basketball team.
And that's kind of a role that the Blazers haven't really been able to quite find yet. There hasn't been a definitive person who, leads the drive as the Blazers leader.
Now a spin move through the middle by number 1, Gethers. Puts up a shot, no good, but gets his own board, and nice job on the putback there by Gethers, making it a 4-point ball game, 8-4 with 15 minutes, 15 seconds left to go here in the first half. Now the taller Harper is assigned North up top. Now ball movement by Centralia, a little bit of trouble. Malone looking to force the pass inside to Rogers, and Tacoma players knocked it away. In the other direction comes Tacoma.
They just threw that into a sea of black jerseys. I mean, you got to make better decisions than that.
Shots off, rebound Dumais. Centralia is now heading on the offensive end. North passes it to Rogers. Rogers being picked up by Gethers. Rogers dribbles through, back out to North. North kicks it to Malone. Malone to Rogers. Rogers looks for the shot, finally decides to take it, and it will go in. It gets the friendly roll. Great shot by Rogers there, as he's about halfway through mid-air, decides to take it, and then brings it into a 2-point ball game. Now it's 8-6, and it will bring the first timeout by Coach Jesse Brown of the Tacoma Titans, and scores 8-6, and it'll be 30-second timeout.
The rim has definitely been very kind to us so far. And who I'm actually interested to see just in these opening minutes is David Gethers. Just from seeing him get the rebound and him going up against the bigger men, he is such an athlete. You can just see that he has raw athleticism, and he gets up there.
Yeah, Tacoma losing on the height battle here, but so definitely they had to make up for it, as the 6'3" Gethers is having a good start here for the Titans. Number 3, Flynn passes it over to the corner, shots up no good. Dumais fights for the rebound, jumps to try and get it, and as we see Dumais hit the hardwood, and ball is going to go out of bounds, possession to Tacoma.
Both North and Dumais actually hit the deck on that one, so there's no lack of hustle coming straight out of the gate for the Blazers.
2-3 zone now for Centralia. Flynn passes it over to the corner to Lewis. Now to Gethers. Gethers back out to Flynn. Flynn being picked up by Farley, who just checked in the ball game for the Trailblazers. Drive by Gethers, gets the ball stolen. North the other way in transition. Nice pump fake, puts up the shot, no good. Rogers there with the rebound to put it up and in. Rogers disguised over North and puts it up and in.
For what that is worth.
Yeah. So
great putback, great work, and that is the 4th steal we've seen by Dumais so far. He is just awesome on the defensive end, and keep it up.
So it's a tie ball game now with 13 minutes and 30 seconds left to go. Rebound by Dumais. Dumais is all over the court here early in the ball game. Marcy with the basketball, pushes it, passes it to Farley. Marcy gets the ball again back up top, passes it back to Farley. Now up to North up top. Exactly what Coach Moore called out for. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Dumais wide open, calling for the basketball on the far side of the court. And Marcy Rogers with the ball down low gets caught in trouble, and they're going to call a timeout. It's going to be called by Marcy Rogers on the court, because we didn't hear the coach over here, so it must have been Rogers. It's going to be a 30-second timeout, and we're going to see a player check in the ball game. That's Calvin Edwards.
And I can't wait to see what Calvin Edwards is going to bring to the table. He's got great averages. He's got 19 points, 5 assists, 7 rebounds, and 2 steals a game. He's just everywhere on that stat sheet. And he just does whatever he can.
He's a heart player, leaves everything up to his effort and leaves all of his heart on the floor. So you definitely won't see any quit in Calvin Edwards. You'll see him give his all here. 14 seconds on the shot clock as Centralia will inbound it. Tie ball game with 13 minutes left to go here in the first half. North, number 22, with the basketball up top. Broussard with the basketball in the corner. Gets it knocked out of his hands, out of bounds. Possession will stay with Centralia. Now we'll see Brooks checking the ball game. Raylon Brooks, number 5, out of Ontario, California. He's a 5'11 sophomore, one of the few returning sophomores on this Centralia Blazers team.
And while his average in minutes is pretty low, he actually last game against Green River, he dropped 19 points.
1 second left on the shot clock. Edwards forced to take the shot, and he pulls up from about 30 feet out, and it bounces off the back of the rim. Fight for the rebound down low, goes out of bounds. Possession will stay with Centralia as the Titans tipped it out of bounds. Farley to inbound it for Centralia, finds Dumais open in the left corner, puts up the shot, and it's in. Dumais wide open, don't want to give him any space at all as he extends it to a 3-point lead. 11-8 here with 12 minutes and 30 seconds left to go here in the first half.
They ran the box play out of bounds, got the screen, got Dumais wide open in the corner, and that is his money ball.
Good hands by Farley there to tip it away, come up with the steal, throw it to Brooks to save the ball before going out of bounds. Now Brooks setting up the offense up top. Brooks running point guard for the team now as North takes a break. Passes it to Edwards. Edwards back to Brooks. Brooks puts up the 3-point shot, and it rolls in and out. No good. Centralia has to go back and recover on defense here as Tacoma's pushing it the other way. Number 3, Isaiah Flynn sets up the offense for his team. Passes it to number 1, Gethers. Back to Flynn. Flynn being guarded tightly by Brooks. Now open man in the left wing is number 2. I believe it's number 5, Tony Chinaweth. Tony Chinaweth is out of Enumclaw, 6'3", guard/forward, so he plays the hybrid position for Tacoma. Centralia the other way with 20 seconds left on the shot clock. Brooks with the basketball, passes it to Edwards. Edwards back to Brooks. Brooks bounce passes it into Broussard. Broussard to Brooks. Brooks to Dumais, so good hockey assist there by Broussard that time as he sees the floor, makes a nice pass, and leads to the assist there by Brooks.
And John Dumais is already on there for 7 points already just this early in the game. So you look for him to have a big impact. He's rolling.
They're gonna call a 3-second call now as the Tacoma player was camping out in the lane. 2-point ball game now as the Trailblazers lead 13-11 with 11 minutes and 5 seconds left to go on the court for Centralia as Brooks, Edwards, Farley, Dumais, and Broussard, both the big 6'7" men for Centralia.
And you're kind of seeing kind of a pattern here with the Titans with their 2-3 zone. They really like to keep their opponents spaced out, make them shoot the 3, which we know our guys can make it though. So
Farley with the ball fake into Broussard. Broussard gets the shot blocked, but Dumais comes up with it. Dumais left open. He was unaware of it. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Farley just thinks he has to shoot right away, and that's what he does. Maybe he thought he had the shot. Maybe he thought he had to rush it. Either way, it falls and extends the lead to 5 as it's 16-11 with 10 minutes and 25 seconds left to go here in the first half.
Hot start for the Blazers from deep.
Titans with the basketball. Ball is loose. Number 4 comes up with it. That's Anthony Harper, and he's going to be fouled as he goes through the lane. It's going to be called on number 21. That's Patrick Broussard. That's going to be his first foul of the ball game. Ironically, that's the first foul called in the ball game for either side, as over 9 minutes has gone away. Quick back and forth action. Score 16-11 with 10 minutes and 15 seconds left to go here. Bring a little bit of stop to the action as number 4, Anthony Harper, steps to the line to shoot 2 free throws. First one's good, so he'll stand in to shoot his second.
And really in that situation, they had to foul him because he was right there underneath the basket. So now they're risking it, shooting 2 instead of getting the definite 2.
So smart foul that time by Broussard. Unlike most games, when they don't have the height advantage, this game they do have the height advantage, so Broussard getting into a little bit of foul trouble. He may be able to work a little bit with his fouls here.
And one thing you really want to see is, Dumais can get in there. He can get big. We've seen Patty show some of his skills, but he has more potential. He needs to really show that off tonight. They need to be the two big posts.
The second free throw is no good, but he got another one because lane violation by Centralia, and the second free throw, well, actually a third free throw for him went in. So now it's a 3-point ball game, 16-13, with 10 seconds or 13 seconds on the shot clock. Centralia has trouble with the basketball, now down to 10. Dumais puts up a shot from the right corner this time, no good as it rolls in and out. Tacoma player skies for the rebound, dribbles through the lane, looks for an open player. Patrick Broussard, good job by him to deny the passing lanes, and he knocks it away. Rebound, or goes to Centralia. The Tacoma coach looking for a travel as Farley spins through the lane, but gets denied. Ray Brooks looks to draw the charge. Nothing's called. Lots of contact, but no whistle. And now they're going to blow the whistle, and they're going to call a foul. It's going to be on Tacoma player. It's going to be called on number 10. That's Marquise Blackwell. That's going to be his first foul of the ball game.
Looks like we have a hurt player out here. Tony Chinoweth is limping off the court, and in his place is Andre Lewis. I hope he's okay. It seems like he just needs to walk it off.
Number 2, Calvin Edwards with the basketball. Passes this to Farley. Farley got away with the carry there as he carried it right on his hip. Brooks with the basketball. Looks into Edwards. Edwards throws it away as he dribbles through the lane. And Tacoma comes up with the ball. Coach Moyer unhappy with his offense. He's going to check Marcy Rogers back in the ball game.
You got to just find the rotation that works for you. You got to find the lineup that has chemistry, and that'll create the most offense for you.
Blackwell puts up the shot from the free throw line. No good. Fight for the rebound. Ball goes out of bounds. Possession goes to Centralia as it's knocked out by Tacoma. Rogers checking in the ball game now for Patrick Broussard. John Dumais, the lone big man on the court for Centralia. Edwards with the basketball now being picked up at half court by the Tacoma defender. Nice shimmy shake move there as the defender, number 3, I believe it is. No, number 22, that is. Jacque Morrow.
Calvin Edwards is honestly a treat to watch. You don't see too many people like that can just make such beautiful moves with the ball. And I don't know about you, but I could never get enough of seeing him just with that smooth crossover like that.
Calvin Edwards pump fakes and then kicks it out to Farley. Farley puts up a shot, and it's good. So the score is now 18-13. Centralia with the lead.
I like how he didn't settle for the 3 there. He went in for his shot, and he got inside the arc and got a closer shot and switched it.
Skip pass now for Tacoma, and they set up the offense. 22 seconds on the shot clock as number 15 drives through the lane, puts up the shot, and he draws the foul. That's Andre Lewis. For Tacoma, Andre Lewis, 6'11", freshman out of Tacoma. He'll stand in at the free throw line to shoot 2 free throws. Foul's going to go on number 32, John Dumais. That's his first foul of the ball game. Second foul for Centralia of the half. Shot's good by Lewis.
And if Dumais would have jumped straight up with a completely straight body that time, they probably would not have called the blocking foul, because he kind of just he tensed up knowing the contact was coming and laid his arms low. So, I mean, that's just asking for it to get called. They'll call that every time.
Isaiah Flynn at the free throw line. First shot was good, but missed the second shot. Rebound Rogers of Centralia. Farley with the basketball, passes it to Brooks. Brooks with the crossover, dribbles through the lane, passes it to Rogers. Rogers puts the shot, no good as it gets blocked from behind. And in transition is Tacoma. Passes just too far ahead of his teammate there as he goes right out of bounds. Kyle North, Colin Malone checking into the ball game now for the Trailblazers as Brooks takes a break and Farley takes a break.
I really like what Coach is doing here, just experimenting with all the lineups, and he's just trying to get a good experience and a good playing time in.
Yeah, I think what Coach is trying to do is get a feel for who his true team is going to be, who he wants on the court at the end of the game, crunch time, and what group has the good chemistry.
And that is something that we have seen the Blazers struggle with in a couple of games that we have broadcasted, that it seems that when it comes down to the fourth quarter, it will either come down to Calvin Edwards or just they need to finish the game as a team.
Yep, do it as a team, not so much one-on-one action. So the score is now 18-14 as the shot's no good. Maybe not the shot you wanted if you're Coach Morey, as you see him give a little bit of advice to his player, Edwards, down at the other end.
Yeah, they're just not, they're getting a little confused and hesitant on the offense they're running as Calvin Edwards gets the steal and the amazing.
Nice Euro step there by Edwards, a la James Harden.
Or Manu Ginobili.
Yeah, both of them. So
beautiful. Finish didn't come, but you gotta love that move.
Yeah, great body movement there by Edwards.
That takes so much finesse and so much coordination and footwork to be able to do that and not commit a travel. So he's just Calvin Edwards loves to put on a show.
Flynn with the basketball, passes it to Gathers. Gathers kicks, ball winds up in the corner in the hands of number 15. Andre Lewis shots up and in. 1 point ball game now. Edwards pushing it the other way, tries passing it, gets him knocked away. Edwards comes up with the steal, but he was on the ground, realized he's about to travel as he's standing up and passes it to keep from the travel, but throws it away. But Centralia quickly recovers on the defensive end and sets up in their 2-3 zone.
Bodies are just hitting the hardwood everywhere you look. You gotta love the hustle, but it's getting a little scary out there.
They're going to call an offensive foul on number 3, Isaiah Flynn, as Kyle North draws the charge that time. And that's going to be the first foul on Isaiah Flynn, third foul on the Titans of the first half. Kyle North with the basketball up top, passes it to Edwards. Edwards dribbles through the lane and looks to pass a little bit. And, well, you could tell he was looking to pass. Looks to give it to Dumais, gets knocked away. Good ball movement as Rogers passes to Dumais. Dumais puts it up and in. 3-point ball game now as Centralia has the lead over the Tacoma Titans. Scores 20-17 with 5 minutes and 20 seconds left to go here in the ball game.
This half has been all John Dumais. He's just been doing great work out there, getting open, getting the easy shot, and helping out his teammates.
Lewis with the 3-point shot now ties up the ball game at 20-20 with just over 5 minutes left to go here in the first half. 22, Kyle North being picked up at half court by number 3, Flynn. Dribble handoff to, what's his name, number 22, or number 2 there, Calvin Edwards. Calvin Edwards drives to the lane, dishes to Rogers. Rogers had trouble handling the ball. He gathers it, gives a nice pump fake, and finishes with the usage of the backboard. 4 minutes, 40 seconds left to go in the first half. Centralia with a 2-point lead, 22-20. Inside is number 10 through the lane, gets a shot denied by John Dumais, and Kyle North comes up with the basketball, sets it up for his team, passes to Dumais. Dumais looks inside to Rogers. Rogers looks at his cutter. Dumais decides not to pass it, kicks it back out to Kyle North. Kyle North being picked up by the bigger Harper, drives it with his left hand through the lane, pump fakes, gives it to Dumais. Dumais back out to North. North with a chance at the 3-point shot, decides not to take it. 16 seconds on the shot clock here. North picks up his dribble, kicks it to Edwards. Edwards takes his commands from his coach to attack the hoop. Dribble handoff to Rogers. Rogers dribbles through. He's going to be called for an offensive foul as he pushed off there, dribbling through the lane, trying to make some space. Rogers got caught there on that foul. There.
And one thing I'd like to say, I'd like to see Kyle North not really hesitate with that open shot. It seems like he just needs to have the confidence, just let her go. When he's open, that's what his teammates will do, and we know he can hit it.
3 minutes, 45 seconds left to go here in the first half. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Centralia holding on to a 2-point lead right now as Tacoma, the player, dribbles it along the baseline, gets it knocked out of bounds by a Centralia defender. Possession will stay with Tacoma as they take it out underneath their own basket.
As they're trying to do some sort of screen-to-screener play here out of a stack, and so they're just going to take it into their continuity play.
Flynn up top gets the command from his coach. 7 seconds on the shot clock as number 1 drives to the lane, gathers, nice bounce pass into number 10, Marquise Blackwell. Nice finish along the right side of the basket with his right hand and ties up the ball game 22-22 as Kyle North sets up the offense for Centralia.
You can see that head coach Jesse Brown for the Titans really loves his athletic guys because that's what we're seeing right now, just some pure athletes.
Dribble through the lane. Marcy Rogers puts up a shot, no good. Ball gets knocked away, ends up in the Tacoma Titan player's hand. Kick ball now as Colin Malone tried denying the pass. Just basically stopping the action there, not wanting it to go in, not allowing the pass in there.
Great reflexes. I bet you that he played soccer as well.
Now Tacoma to inbound the ball. Number 1 gathers, being picked up by Calvin Edwards. Flynn with the basketball, passes it over to the corner, inside pass to the post. Now Harper with the rebound, puts up the shot, gets fouled. There are 2 players there, Farley and Dume. Dume was closest to the offensive player, so it'll be interesting to see who the foul goes on, and it goes on John Dume. That's his 2nd foul of the game, and we'll see Patrick Broussard check in for him, as Coach Moyer doesn't want Dume to pick up any crucial fouls here.
He's such an intricate part of this offense and the defense. I mean, he's 4 or 5 steals now. He's got a couple block shots, but someone needs to help him. The offense is crowding the paint, the Titans, I mean, and he had a great contest, but then another person just slipped by. Someone lost their man, and that's what's going to happen. Everybody needs to participate in the defense.
Number 13 checking in the ball game. That's Nick McDougald for Tacoma. And Broussard checking in for Centralia. Farley with the 3-point shot from the left wing, no good. Rebound Broussard, but he's unable to hold on to it as he's tries gathering it with 2 hands and just flies out of bounds there. Broussard maybe a little bit too strong with the basketball that time.
Whereas he would need to be strong when he's posting up. There he is.
22 being guarded by number 22 of Centralia, Kyle North. No inside look there by Tacoma. Great usage of the left hand along the left side of the hoop. That time by number 10, Marquise Blackwell, putting his team up by 3 points, 25-22. Turnover down on the offensive end now for Centralia, as you see a look of frustration on Kyle North's face coming down the other end. If you're Centralia, you just want to forget about that and get a stop, kind of have a case of amnesia and go on to the next play.
Always think about the next play. But one thing there was Marcin Farley when the Titan man had it sealed. Marcin Farley was just spectating while he got the open look.
Shot's no good by Murrow. Rebound Edwards. Edwards takes it coast to coast, puts it up and in. Good finger roll by Edwards there. Edwards comes up limping after it. He's going to get a sub. It's going to be Brooks. He's going to check in the game. Now they're going to have to probably take a foul here, as they cannot go do this anymore with Edwards limping on the court, and then they get the easy basket. It would have been smarter coaching if he would have just taken the foul at that point, because you're playing 5-on-4. Edwards really hurting after that play. It could just be cramping, but that's,
let's
being optimistic.
We're
here.
Definitely not doctors.
Yeah.
He's a wonderful player, and we hope to see him back out here tonight.
Brooks with the basketball up top. And then now North with the basketball tries feeding his post. Little high-low action there. As Broussard looks down low, just throws it out of bounds. It remains a 3-point ball game as it's 27-24.
This zone needs to communicate cutters, because you can see that number 10, Marquise Blackwell, always ends up somehow getting that seal, and he just ends up sneaking behind on baseline. So they need to call cutters on baseline, this 2-3 zone communication.
Number 15 with the basketball, passes it inside to number 4, Harper. Harper puts the shot, no good. Rebound Farley, kicks it out to North to run the offense for his team. 32 seconds on the shot clock, 30 seconds, a little bit, maybe over a second on the game clock. So there's about a second difference between game and shot clock. North with the basketball up top, waiting on his demand from his coach on when to attack. North being guarded by a taller Harper up top. Harper in transition might get a breakaway dunk here, but smart job by North to not let him get any easy 2 points.
He wanted it too. He wanted that breakaway, but that was smart foul by Kyle North. He got his pocket picked. Just a great defender is Anthony Harper. His athleticism, his speed.
Good job by North to commit the hard foul, not give them the chance of the three-point play.
Absolutely.
Harper misses the first free throw there. There's 12.3 seconds left on the game clock. Tacoma with the three-point lead currently, but Harper standing in at the line to shoot a free throw. So look to see the last possession of the ball game, or last possession of the half coming up here. Rogers inbounds to Farley, 11 seconds on the clock. Farley passes to Rogers. Rogers dribbles through the lane, kicks it back out to Farley. Farley looks, 5 seconds on the clock, puts up a shot, and it's in. So great shot by Farley there to run out the shot clock. And it's gonna make it a 2-point ball game at halftime, 28-26. Pretty much identical to the halftime score of the first game we had here, 28-26.
Yeah, how about that?
Titans with the lead. So
one thing I bet you're not going to see though is the amount of three-pointers in comparison to how much our ladies did. It's just been an all-around. So far, it's been an all-around very, very competitive game. It's been a lot of hard. It's been a lot of dirty work. There's just a lot of dirty work being done here. But one thing they got to do is they're running that 2-3 zone. Is Centralia, and they have to have communication, because number 10, Marquise Blackwell, he's almost every single time, whether it's by a screen or whether it's by him just juking and faking out his man or whoever is supposed to be responsible for him. He will just cut baseline and he'll get seal and bam, easy basket. And he's probably got that 3 or 4 times now, and that's a killer.
All right, so we'll come back just shortly before the start of the second half with a few stats for you. But for right now, we'll take a break, send it back to the studio, and we'll be back here. So make sure you come join us in about 10 minutes for the start of the second half. Score is 28-26. Tacoma Titans with the 2-point lead going into the locker rooms. So some strategic strategies talking, going for the Blazers and the Titans. And we'll see if Edwards will be back in the ball game for the second half. So make sure you come and join us in about 10 minutes.
It's going to be a really exciting game, folks.
28-26, Titans with the lead. We're just about to start second half here. And if you look statistically, Edmund, everything is just, it's just neck for neck. Everything is just identical, it seems.
Yep, everything is identical. The turnover battle 10-10, the assist battle 8-8, steals at 6-5. Tacoma with the slight edge in that category there. You see the difference though is in the shooting. Field goal percentage, Centralia shooting 48%, Tacoma shooting 40%, but the big difference is Tacoma is shooting 50% from the three-pointer and Centralia only shooting 28%. As the score is 28-26, only a 2-point ball game, you see that most likely it's the shooting that's making the difference since everything else is so close.
Absolutely. And what I really want to look for and see, I said this earlier on, what I really want to see is I want to see the posts really get down and dirty and get big out there and get on the block and get some easy buckets. We know John Dumais can do it. And we know that Patrick has the ability. He just needs to maybe not shy away and just go for the contact and just post up and be a true big man.
Definitely, with the size advantage, you want to see them look to execute on that inside and try and feed them down low. And if you see the help side come, then kick it out to the open man and have that be your set offense if you're Centralia.
And so to start it off, we have Kyle North bringing up the ball, passes it off to Paul Malone. He gives it to Dumais, back to North, and pass off to Marcy Rogers. To Malone. And Dumais looking for the ball, but passes off to North instead. And it's handed off to Patrick, but it will end up being the Centralia goal. North couldn't quite handle the loose ball that time. And so here we go with Titan ball. Number 3, Isaiah Flynn. Screen by Anthony Harper. Isaiah goes through and passes it off to Andre Lewis. Gets it in the post to Anthony Harper, who's all over that floor on the offensive end. But they end up being able to knock the ball out off of a Titan, and it is Centralia ball once again with Kyle North bringing it up.
So you can see Tacoma switch over to the man defense now.
Patrick gets the ball and he loses it. They're going to call a push on. It seems like Colin Malone. I didn't quite catch that there. I just caught the latter end where he's tying his shoes. But so we got Isaiah Flynn bringing up the ball and trying to get a play set. Listening to the coach, and it seems like there's some confusion there. Dribbles past the screen, gives it off to 15, Andre Lewis. Back to Isaiah Flynn. And pass it off to David Gethers. Back to Andre Lewis. Flynn once again. The shot clock running down at 5. And they'll get bailed out. Marquise Blackwell goes in the paint. And that's going to be a foul. 2 shots.
Might have been a smart foul that time by Marcy Rogers there to not give him the easy 2 points in the lane.
Especially because we know he's, we know from so far Marquise Blackwell is an athlete, and he can get right up to that rim within inches as he makes his first free throw. All in order. As Coach Moore sets the play, Marquise misses his second free throw. North bringing it up. Coach calling the set. Seems we have a 4 high.
Tight defense by Tacoma. Tight ball pressure.
Al North has the ball. Dribbles it in, but backs out. Pass off to Malone. Gives it. Tries to give it to Dume, but there's really no open availability there. Transition. Marciano Rogers is able to smack the ball out and stop the play. It will still be a tight ball as they set up their out of bounds play. What looks to be a screen-to-screener once again. And it ends up in the hands of Isaiah Flynn. Flynn passes it off to Andre Lewis, who then gives it to David Gethers for the drive, and he misses the layup. He goes back and gets his own rebound. And you can hear their bench getting a little raucous over there. They're very proud. As he gets the and one, David Gethers, a definite athlete, going up strong and shrugs off contact, puts it in.
Yeah, the bench definitely getting pumped up for that play as we see Tacoma come out of halftime with back-to-back baskets in the first 2 minutes of the second half.
If you're Centralia, you're not really liking this momentum shift here.
No, that's
definitely want to stop them and get some good stops as they have.
That's why Coach Moyer made a few subs there, as you've seen Farley checking the ball game. Farley and Edwards checking the ball game.
It's good to see Calvin Edwards back in the ball game as it is 32-26, 17:45 left in the game, and Titans are leading.
Ball got knocked away, but hit the ref as he was standing out of bounds, and it's going to be called. Just goes back to Centralia.
Luckily, Calvin, it must have been just some sort of cramp or something.
That's why I was thinking cramp earlier. I wasn't just trying to jump to conclusion. It was like an educated guess there. He was playing hard throughout the whole first half, without a break.
And he's not favoring it whatsoever. It's good to see. He's definitely going to be an integral part of this game if the Blazers want to win it. Backside! Goes to Isaiah. Let it go. And he receives the ball from scorer's table.
Man, last year there was a big ruckus as Van Lockett basically dove for a ball coming out of bounds. It was crazy. Knocked everything down, knocked the computer down, and we had to stop action. Luckily, that didn't take place again.
Great Shaquille O'Neal play. As Edwards hands it off to Marcy Rogers. Dume has the ball in the corner. And he dribbles and finds Patty. Patty goes up and gets blocked from behind. So Edwards call. They're going to call the foul. Foul is going to be on number 10. That's Marquise Blackwell. It's his second foul. And we're going to have Patrick Broussard at the line. Shooting two. As he makes the first. And so it is now a 3-point game. Titans leading 32-29 with 17 minutes here left in the game. As we have Farley with the rebound. And it goes back to Edwards. Dumais, back to Edwards. Dribbles looking for an open man. And we have a three-point attempt from Marston Farley. No good. Off front iron. We're in transition. And here we go again. Calvin Edwards gets the steal. And it passes off to Marciano Rogers. And back to Edwards once again. Looking for someone. Dumais is open. And he is quickly covered. Back to Dumais for three. And it's just barely off. Good look there by Dumais. In transition are the Titans. Andre Lewis trying to find an open man. Finds Isaiah Flynn. Some ruckus in the paint there. Then we see Marquise Blackout with the shot attempt. And it's no good. And it shall be an offensive or over the back foul.
So excuse us for those technical difficulties that we are having. If you just, you're wondering what the score is, it's 32-29 with 16 minutes left to go here in the ball game. And we'll just bring you back up to speed here. Centralia with the basketball.
Edwards with the basketball, handing it off to Dumais in the corner. Dumais takes one dribble, hands it off to Marston Farley. And Farley back to Edwards. Edwards loses it a little bit, guarded tight. And he's going to be called for dribbling the ball out of bounds, so that's going to be Titan ball. Tough call there. But he was stuck with nowhere to go, and that's when teammates got to help out.
The coffin corner there, good execution on the trap there for Tacoma.
Isaiah Flynn bringing up the ball for the Titans. Hands it off to Jacques Morrow. And it goes to David Gethers. But then tried to hand it to Anthony Harper, but it'll be off the backboard and no good. Calling a jump ball, and it will stay with the Titans. So a whole bunch of chaos here. Maybe they can slow it down when they're set. Now we have Jacques Morrow again. Passes off to Flynn, to Gethers. And in the post is Anthony Harper. And then back to Gethers, who cuts and makes a nice rim run there and gets the mismatch and gets an easy hook bucket.
A lot of contact inside. Refs are really letting them play through it.
And you got to love that kind of basketball. As Edwards has the ball, passes it to Dumais, passes it to Patrick Broussard, back to Edwards. And Dumais passes it off into the post to the open Edwards. Trying to find, as Patrick sets the screen, Dumais is open in the arc. And we have 5 seconds on the shot clock, so they got to get something off here. Calvin Edwards throws up a prayer and almost gets it answered. But now it is Titans ball, and we go for a breakaway. Slam! There he is. We were waiting for it. David Gethers does his best manimal, and he gives quite a show for the fans here. One-handed, just jams it. But on the other end, Patrick Broussard is not to be intimidated, and he draws the foul in the post.
Yeah, that's what you like to see. If you're Coach Moyer, is your big guy, be aggressive down low. Seems like he has been lacking that aggressiveness and, not seeming to make those power moves. And that's exactly what you had right there is Patrick Broussard showing that he does have that in his repertoire.
And the thing is, we knew he did. He just, for some reason he was timid and he shied away from it. But he can do it. He's kind of underestimated due to his not lanky frame, but he doesn't have the upper body strength that a lot of big men do in this level of play. But he can still make a huge effect if he just posts up and gets big, takes up presence. As he makes his first free throw and misses the second. So it's 36-30 Titans. And Isaiah Flynn at the top of the key. And it just gets thrown away there as Raylon Brooks tries to set up the offense. Seems like they're in a 3-2 zone now, is the Titans. As Broussard puts up a shot that just barely, and he gets his own rebound, and he misses that one. Needs to focus, settle down a little bit, and just put it in. No one really there to block him that time, just needs to put it in the easy layup.
Or dunk it.
Or dunk it, yes. We would love to see that.
That close to the rim, you should be able to get up there, get some springs underneath you, and power up.
I bet you're hungry for dunks now, aren't you? David Gether's got everybody a little excited here. As we're getting a foul called here. That's going to be on number 3, Isaiah Flynn. That's his second foul. 5th team foul for the Titans, and it will be Trailblazer ball. As it goes to Raylon Brooks. And it will go to Calvin Edwards, back to Raylon Brooks. Then somehow gets swung around back to Edwards once again to Brooks. And we got a timeout, full timeout from Coach Moore. He's not liking what he's seen as far as execution of the play here, not really getting too much movement.
Exactly. That's what he doesn't like. He doesn't like the lack of ball movement. It's just poor ball movement, for Centralia. Not what he wants to see. And he wants to see smart, crisp passes, no lackadaisical passes, because Tacoma's definitely playing the passing lanes and executing on those in transition. And he just wants to see quick, smart passes by Centralia. Doesn't want to allow Tacoma to be able to recover on the passes, because the players are standing there with it for so long that the Tacoma players are able to recover it, and it just puts no point into even working the ball around.
Absolutely. I mean, the plays are there for the set X's and O's. They're there to get the players open and to get a shot off. I mean, that's the name of the game. So coach is probably frustrated because you're not seeing any movement on the play, so therefore it's more just like people are standing there waiting for something to happen, just like spectating going on there. And
yeah, it's definitely not what you want out of your players, is ball watching.
Yeah, that's a coach pet peeve that of any coach. I mean, I'm not a coach, and that's a pet peeve of mine. Slows down the game and the rhythm and the flow. And let's see if coach talks some sense into him.
So on the court now for Centralia is Farley, Brooks, Edwards, Broussard, and Dumais.
Alrighty, as Raylon Brooks passes it off to Marcid Farley and back to Brooks. And Dumais is open. The Centralia team trying to work it around a little bit right now, as we have a 3-point shot is off, and we're going into transition as Isaiah Flynn brings up the ball for the Titans.
Good look, uncontested, but he just couldn't get it to fall.
That was Jacques Morrow.
Brooks is a great shooter. Normally hits those, knocks those down.
Oh, he got a little too excited there. Was Anthony Harper on the great feed from Andre Lewis, and Andre Lewis was a little bit frustrated there. Seemed to go kind of for the flashiness.
Yeah, and forgot there was a rim there, denied by the rim that time.
As we get another basket, and we just have a 2-point deficit here for the Blazers, 36-32.
4-point game.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. I went to WFS, forgive me. 4-point lead, 36-32, and the Titans lead with 12 minutes left in the game. And so in the post is Anthony Harper, puts in a strong big man hook, but just loses it.
Yeah, he got scared by John Dumais coming in there.
Hey, I'd be scared too if I had that big man coming at me. As we have Raylon Brooks handing it off and just getting the gimme turnover. You might as well wrap it in a bow.
Yeah, they're called unforced turnovers there. Just wide open, just couldn't catch the basketball. Right off his leg, out of bounds.
So we have Isaiah Flynn once again, seeming to be the leader of the team. And back over to Andre Lewis and back to Isaiah. And he gets high post, Jacques Morrow, and then Gathers just throws it away.
Great job by Edwards there to jump up and steal it away with 2 hands.
And we know that, and what a great finish. And one for Calvin Edwards, and an unbalanced shot, just great awareness of body control in the air. His arms seem to be, close to his chest. And
off balance, leaning towards the hoop.
And that's just finesse and power is what that is. That's just, and body control. It's once again, just shows how much of an athlete that Calvin Edwards is as he makes the N1.
It's amazing seeing him in those angles and able to still land on his feet after being hammered.
Yeah, it seems like he could stay up there forever. He goes for the steal, but
all over the court, Edwards.
all right, and then we have yet another silly turnover here.
Yeah, number 3 was unaware. Isaiah Flynn caught the ball while he had a foot out of bounds, and the referee's right there on the call.
And you can't have those silly mistakes, especially at this level of the play. As we have Marcin Farley pass it to Raylon Brooks to Edwards. As Dumais gets the ball. And Patrick's looking to post up here. He needs to get the seal. Oh, and as we get Marcin Farley for 3, and he gives you the
2-point lead.
He gives us the 2-point lead, and he gives a little showmanship with his 3 guns. So now the Blazers have come back, and it is a 2-point lead, 38-36, Centralia Trailblazers. And it's been a very, very closely contested game, a very low-scoring game, and that can only be explained by, one, the turnover, the unforced turnovers, and just the stifling defense on both sides.
Yeah, maybe a little bit early for showboating, but it's good to know that he's in the game, involved in the game, and really into it here. As it's a tight 2-point ball game. Blazers with the 2-point lead. This is a league game, and so Blazers 3-5 right now, looking to stay in the playoff hunt, looking to keep their hopes alive and continue their season further beyond just this regular season, and build on to what they had last year with their 7th place state finish.
And they'd love nothing more than to get back to the spot they were last year, and maybe even, achieve better.
Yeah, one thing I was wanting to note on, you did mention earlier that all of Tacoma's players were freshmen. One reason for that could be because Tacoma's coach that they had last year left, and he's coaching Division II down in Hawaii. And so now I'm sure all the players that were playing for him last year didn't want to return and play for a new coach, so they got a whole new rollover of players, all recruits from the new coach most likely, and that's why you got this rollover of all freshmen.
Thank you. That was an awesome tidbit. Wow. As Flynn brings up the ball, he's heavily guarded by Raylon Brooks. And the little handoff to Andre Lewis. And then there's Isaiah. Once again, he's getting trapped. Tries to drive in, but the Centralia defense is not letting him get anywhere. Anthony Harper gets the ball picked away by Brooks. And maybe he throws it a little too far ahead.
Yeah, he thought he had him there, but go ahead.
And throws the ball away. The pass was just, a little. They let him a little bit too much. So now we have Titan ball, and maybe we need to regain some composure here. 2-point game, needs some focus. As Flynn passes the ball off to Gethers and back. It seems like they're doing some sort of screen to get Gethers open for a drive. As Andre Lewis is open for 3, but it just rolls out.
Maybe got away over the back call there as John DeMay skied over the Titan player back.
Head coach Jesse Brown definitely wanted that. Calvin Edwards passes it off to Raylon Brooks, and it goes back to Edwards. And trying to get some movement here. Trying the 4 high once again, and we would like to see Patrick to be, some active and get to that basket, as we have Raylon Brooks with the 3-point attempt, but that is off. And after a scuffle, it ends up being Titan ball as Flynn brings the ball up.
Broussard again just squeezed it so tight it popped out of his hands.
And comes a point where you have to take care of the ball as well as squeeze it. So, that's your baby. As Broussard almost gets the steal, but instead is called for the reach.
It's going to be the 4th foul of the half on the Trailblazers as it brings a stop to action with 9 minutes, 7 seconds left to go here in the ball game. Trailblazers with a 2-point lead, 38-36.
And that will be Patrick's 3rd foul of the game as he is being subbed out for Marciano Rogers. And we got an out-of-bounds stack play as it's going to be thrown out above the arc to Jacques Moro and passed off to Isaiah Flynn. Screen there. And wide open Jacques Moro, but he misses the 3 and it's just barely off. And a wide open Isaiah Flynn just taking advantage of the confused defense, but Marciano Rogers skies for the rebound. As it goes to Raylon Brooks.
you can see that Gathers wants to get that ball back. As it goes off to Edwards and back to Brooks. You would definitely like to see Marciano drive there and go hard.
Yeah, he had an open look at the hoop.
Wide open jump shot and, an open lane if he wanted to force contact.
Oh, yeah.
So as we have Titan ball here, Isaiah Flynn, and then they get it to Marquise Blackwell with the and one. And we've seen he's been strong enough to definitely finish that. He's been making those baskets all night.
Unfortunate there for Centralia because he may have gotten away with a travel there before the move. Either way, tie ball game now.
And he does not complete the three-point play, so we are tied at 38 with 8:13 left in this game.
A little bit of frustration there by the Tacoma player.
But nevertheless, Raylon Brooks brings up the ball and passes it off, and it is a little bit low, so the ball is going to be picked up by the Titans. Isaiah Flynn in transition. And he's going to stop and start up the play and try to get something out of this. He's trapped, dead ball, hands it off, and then hands it off to Marquise Brooks once again, who gets another and one. Marquise Brooks is just too strong right now.
Should have been an offensive foul call there as he was actually forcing the contact there, Marquise Blackwell.
But as they say, if you can get away with it, just you play the game, and there's sadly more aspects than just playing the game.
Oh yeah, you want to see what the refs are gonna call and what they're not gonna call and get a feel for it. If they don't call that, yeah, go ahead, go for it.
And the three-point play is good. The lead is now belonging to the Titans. It is 41-38. The three-point lead with 7:40 left, but it is Trailblazer ball on the side out. As we have a substitution here.
5'8" point guard out of Irwin, North Carolina, checking in the ball game for Tacoma.
And so we have Calvin Edwards, who passes it to Brooks, who passes it to Dumais. And Marciano Rogers is just wide open in the paint. Oh, and an alley-oop layup from John Dumais, showing off, a little bit of, maybe it's not the dunk, but.
Great hard cut there by John Dumais.
And he gets up there, and now it's just a one-point game, 7:13 left. As we have Lamar.
We're going to call
So
there's going to be a
getting the timeout
call. And you could hear Coach Moyer counting as the Tacoma player was down in the paint for more than 3 seconds. You could hear him yell 5. And then Farley as well was counting behind the player, come up and holding up 5. So missed call there by the refs, and luckily for the Tacoma Titans coach, he was able to call the timeout before they called the violation there.
So it's looking to be a great finish here tonight. What do you think? What do you think is going to be the key for the Blazers if they want to seal this one?
For the Blazers, they just have to get a stop at the offensive end. They've been getting good looks, so they have to continue to work the ball around and continue to get good looks. But they definitely want to get stops in transition. Looks like Centralia, they're somewhat daring Tacoma to shoot the three-pointer because they really don't want Tacoma's athletic guards to get inside. So if you're Centralia, I guess pretty much let them keep taking that shot, contest it, but live with that shot. And as they've been doing, they kind of give them the space, and they don't do complete tight ball pressure until they see that they're looking to shoot, and that's when they get up in their face. And it's probably a game plan by Centralia.
And what a good effort here by Marquise Blackwell of the Titans. 12 points. He's averaging 9 rebounds as well. He's averaging 12 points and 9 rebounds a game. And he's also he's a guard forward, so he's shown his versatility, but he's definitely being a big man tonight. As Isaiah Flynn brings up the ball, guarded tightly by Raylon Brooks, and passes it off to Andre Lewis. Back to Jacques Lamaro. And there's Marquise Blackwell once again. The look is off. The Centralia is just fighting for that basketball, which you love to see.
There's going to be a foul call on number 22,
And this place is going ballistic right now. You gotta love this emotion. There's a foul on number 22, Jacques Morrow. It's his second foul of the game.
It's going to be 1-1 since they're in the penalty. It's the 7th foul of the Titans, of Tacoma Titans, so that puts them in the penalty. So Brooks will be shooting 1-1.
In a great situation, stop the clock and have a chance to get the lead here. And Brooks' shot is off, but
Rogers with the rebound, and he gets fouled, and that's going to be on either number 22 or 10. Both of them were in the area, and that one's going to be on number 22.
And it is, once again, 2 in a row. Jacques Morrow, 2 in a row fouls, and you can see he's having a sub in the form of David Gethers.
Possibly. And you see here, number 0, Rogers pushed number 22 in the back. A little bit of tension going on there. Yeah.
As Jacques Morrow comes out and David Gethers comes in, we have both baskets hit by Marciano Rogers, and we have a 1-point lead for the Trailblazers. 6:40 left in this game. Can they hold on?
Brooks picks up the guy at half court.
And what great hustle by Marciano Rogers. He's able to tip it back to Edwards, and we're on a fast break here. Giving it to Raylon Brooks, to Edwards, back to Brooks. Open 3, decides not to take it to Dumais. Gives it inside to Marciano Rogers, who gives it to Dumais for 3. And it is just off, but
rebound by Edwards.
But Calvin Edwards did get the rebound, almost had the shot to fall, but now it's time to get back on defense as Isaiah Flynn brings up the basketball. David Gethers with the ball, guarded tightly by Brooks. And a very long, risky pass to Isaiah Flynn and to Gethers. And contested shot by Andre Lewis, and it is off. And
they're going to call another foul on Tacoma. As you see, there's frustration from Tacoma players. They don't like it. Earlier we seen in the ball game, they're letting them get away with a lot of contact on both ends. So, you know, they stayed consistent.
But now it's coming down to the wire, so I think the referees are reassessing maybe here as we're going to have Marcid Farley on the line for 1-1.
Tacoma is still electing to play aggressive, and the refs aren't letting them get away with it the second half, as they've already been called for 9 fouls here compared to the 6 fouls of Centralia.
And so it might be the reverse of the women's game where we play the free throw game, but there is 5:50 left in this game. There's a lot of time left, and as he misses the second shot.
Lane violation there on Dumais. Yep.
And Coach Moore says, hey, just focus. You got to focus. You got to hold yourself accountable.
Yeah, mental errors. They'll definitely lose you a ball game, especially tight ones like this. It's those mental errors.
And as Edwards reacts to the bounce pass, there's a kick ball and it stays with the Titans, and maybe they get a little breather here.
Oh, yeah, I get a chance to catch their breath as the ball gets reset.
And it is a 2-point game. The Blazers lead 43-41, 5:40 left in this ball game. Flynn with the ball, dribbling it over and passes it to Gethers. And Gethers to Marquise Blackwell and back. Looking for some sort of movement. Isaiah Flynn was open for the cut, but was not found. Andre Lewis with the ball to Marquise Blackwell, taking a jump shot, and it is off. But there is Anthony Harper with the athletic vertical and tipping it back to his teammates. And we have Isaiah Flynn driving and scoring with the layup. And this game is tied up with 5 minutes to go. So we have Raylon Brooks passing it off to Marciano Rogers and to Edwards, who didn't like the shot that he got there. Edwards passes off to Dumais, guarded tightly. Tacoma is just trying to.
Yeah, it's interesting to see that, him guarding him 23 feet away from the basket, John Dumais, the big guy.
Oh, and Marquise Brooks with the block on Marciano Rogers. And very athletic once again by Marquise Blackwell, as he is able to grab the rebound and snatch it with one hand by himself. Definitely a very athletic team here. And these are all freshmen. I mean, there's so much potential with this team.
Yeah, lots of talent up in the Tacoma area.
As Flynn brings the ball and passes it down to Andre Lewis and to Marquise Blackwell, who's been a danger. Isaiah Flynn back with the ball to Gethers, to Blackwell, who tries to snake it in to Anthony Harper. But the referee, much to the chagrin of Coach Jesse Brown, calls it Trailblazer ball. With 4:14 left in the game, and we're still all tied up at 43.
Tried for the bounce pass inside there, but maybe just tried to force it too much as it goes out of bounds.
Braylon Brooks passes it off to Edwards and back as they're trying to get they're trying to get the defense to move here, maybe get someone open. Dumais is open in the post, but Edwards decides to shoot the three, and it is off, but Braylon Brooks has the hustle and gets the ball. Marcin Farley with the ball, hands it off to Edwards, who goes up and in for the layup, but it is off. Very, very contested there, but the ball will go out of bounds and remain Trailblazer ball here with 3:41 left.
Yeah, good drive by Edwards there, but you could hear his coach giving out demands, telling him to skip the pass and move it. But Edwards drove, was unable to finish, and thankfully they saved possession.
Oh, and a
Rogers didn't get back inbounds. He didn't obtain, his positioning back inside before he touched the ball, and you can't do that. You can't jump from out of bounds and touch the ball. That's what the call was.
So it will be Titan ball as Isaiah brings the ball up, and we'll hand it off to Gethers, who is guarded tightly, and it's tight defense all around as it's starting to get close to the end of this ball game. And Dumais will be called for the foul as Flynn drives hard and tries to draw the contact there. Yeah. And this will be the fourth foul on John Dumais, so we're going to have Patrick Broussard here to give him a little rest.
Yeah, definitely it was Flynn there trying to negotiate that contact, because you see Flynn with the off arm trying to push away. And
it's something he knows he can get away with for sure. And whoa, it's a short free throw there by Flynn.
Ball doesn't lie.
Ball don't lie. No, it does not. As we go to Raylon Brooks at the top near half court, giving to Marcin Farley, and Brooks open for three, and just barely is off with that one. As we go off to Isaiah Flynn once again, trying to lead his team and get them the edge in this game. Handing it to Gethers, and what looks like should have been a travel.
Definitely should have been a travel.
So as we luckily the Trailblazers end up retaining the ball as Edwards pulls up for the jumper. Maybe not what Coach Moore would have wanted there. Maybe want to spread the ball around. As we have a man on the floor.
Looked like he was holding his stomach, took a shot to the midsection.
Maybe knocked the wind out of him.
Yeah.
It looks like he just needs to, breathe it out, walk it off, and that is Anthony Harper, and I think he's going to be all right.
There's going to be a foul call on number 5 down at this end. It's going to be number 5, Raylon Brooks. That's going to be his first foul of the ball game, bringing a stop to the action. 2 minutes, 30 seconds left to go. Tight one here coming down to the end.
Shooting 1-1 is Gethers. With 2:32 remaining in this game. Gethers hits it, and he will have one more as they take a 1-point lead to the Titans.
Be interesting to see if Centralia will go to the one-on-one, as we've seen them do the last 2 trips down the court, or if they'll go back to the ball movement, which has been working for him throughout this whole ball game.
Marcin Farley with the rebound, and who gives it to Raylon Brooks. And one thing you want to play as a team. You're going to win as a team. You don't want any ISO all-star stuff going on here. They just need to find the open man. As Marciano Rogers receives the ball to Edwards, who dribbles, tries to find the open man. But Raylon Brooks is open, and he gets past the ball. Edwards finds the ball once again.
10 on the shot clock.
And there's 7 seconds left on the shot clock. They got to rush it. Edwards for 3, and it is just barely off. As we have Isaiah Flynn once again. How many times have we seen that? A jump shot from Edwards to end a dangerous, offensive possession. Kind of a waste, but hopefully something comes of this soon, where we have Isaiah Flynn with the ball once again. 13 seconds on the shot clock, 1:35 left in this game. And Gethers is open for 3, and he misses. reset the shot clock, but Marquise Blackwell is found in the paint, and he will get the 2-pointer and the 3-point lead, and we have a timeout here from
Coach Jesse Brown.
Yes, from the Titans. That was a very clutch play there by Marquise, but he's been making that same play all night long with the garbage buckets, with getting the rebounds and getting the dirty buckets right underneath the basket, finding a way to slip past.
Yeah, he has a knack for those rebounds, and he's getting the inside positioning in there. And if you're Centralia, you got to get a body on him. You can't let him keep hurting you time after time, and it just keeps happening. You think you'd have to pick it up after a while and get a body on the guy, make it somebody's goal or obstacle to find that guy, block him out, keep him out of there. And that's got to be at least one of these players' emphasis in the game. They got the size advantage down low. They just got to use it, get tough, play hard, want it more, because right now you're seeing the Tacoma players, they just want it more. Simply, they're getting all the hustle plays, they have the knacks for the rebounds, and they're going for it. So Tacoma right now on the road with the 3-point lead, and they call a timeout here to make sure that they have a smart play with just over 1 minute left to go here and not give Centralia a chance.
It is still anybody's game here, folks.
Yeah, but if you're Tacoma, you just don't want to let Centralia creep back into this one.
Take care of the basketball.
30 seconds. Yep. Take care of the basketball, get a good shot.
Dumais gets set to check in for Marciano Rogers.
Yeah,
there'll be another timeout by Coach Moore. He obviously didn't get everything he needed from that timeout, so they're going to talk it over. You think they have quite a few things to talk about down the wire here.
Normally when you see back-to-back timeouts like that, is one coach is seeing what the other team's offense is setting up like, so they're going to see what type of play they're wanting to run and then who they want to man up against who. And so that's probably what Coach Moyer is talking about in the huddle, is how he wants to defend this upcoming play by the Tacoma Titans. Since it is a 3-point ball game, 1 minute 26 seconds left to go, Centralia needs to get a stop here. They cannot let them score. If they, either way, they will be able to stay in this ball game, but it'd be most beneficial for Centralia to. Actually, Centralia got the ball, so Centralia was looking on the defense that time that Tacoma brought out.
And so we have Raylon Brooks bringing up the ball here. 1:20 left in the game, 3-point lead for the Titans. And Raylon Brooks is looking for the open man, and he ends up bouncing it off the foot of number 15, Andre Lewis, and it will stay Trailblazer ball. 1:16 now left on the clock as Dumais passes it in to Raylon Brooks. And it looks like this is the team that Coach Moore wants to finish this out with. Marciano Rogers with the basketball as he finds Dumais. And Dumais who finds Edwards. Back to Raylon Brooks. They need to get something going here.
8 seconds on the shot clock.
There's 5 seconds, and forcing a shot that almost went in, but Patrick Broussard's hustle gets the offensive rebound, and they got a new shot clock. With 45 seconds left, they better get something going here. And a 3 from Dumais. Oh, just barely off but Dumais gets his own rebound.
Good job by Patrick Broussard there to poke it out.
Give it to Dumais once more.
So we got 30 seconds on the game clock.
We have 30 seconds left in this game, and Moore is calling on-the-fly plays, and Trailblazers trying to stay in this, but they throw it away. Or do they? It shall be Trailblazer ball.
It was number 4 in
Anthony
transition.
Harper.
Anthony Harper lost it, dribbled it off his own knee. He thought he was fouled from behind by John Dumais. 18.2 seconds left to go. Centralia down by 3.
Marcin Farley comes in for Marciano Rogers.
Marciano Rogers not known for his 3-point shooting, but Farley is, so that's what they need to tie this game back up, send it into overtime. Go ahead.
And as we get it to Raylon Brooks, to Marcin Farley, to Edwards for 3. Oh, and it's just barely off. They did get it back out. There is a foul. Ooh, a smart foul.
Yeah, to stop the clock, and now they only can shoot for two free throws. Now they got to hope to make one, miss, and get the rebound and a tip back in or something real quick.
And all of the Blazer fans are on their feet right now. Took the wind out of them with that 3 attempt by Calvin Edwards. It looked good, but here we are, still 1.6 seconds. And
Now they're probably going to look to miss this shot here with 1.6 seconds left to go. And we'll see here. You hear Coach talking to John at the line. Marcy checking in.
as Dume does hit his first, and he does shoot it. And it is blocked. The shot is blocked, and this game is over. Down to the wire, down to the absolute very end. And there was a block by
Number 1 inside, David Gethers.
that athletic. We mentioned him before. Seems like he's one of the most athletic players on that team. He had a dunk earlier, showing his verticality to come up clutch for his team. And we've got a game here. 46-44, a very well competed game. And there was some tension there, but it only fueled the fire and made this game more entertaining to watch as the Titans defeat the Centralia Trailblazers 46-44.
Yeah, very low scoring game in the end.
And,
halftime score is 28-26. And Centralia only scoring 20 points, or less than 20 points there in the second half. Defensive battle, to say the least.
And that is the story of the game, was who, and like you said earlier, it was who wanted it more on the hustle plays. And that's really what it came down to, was that they really wanted the ball more. I mean, they wanted to score, they wanted to win more. So that's really what it came down to.
Yeah, in close games, that's what it will always come down to. The team who wants it more, and Tacoma wanted it more this time. Centralia maybe just ran out a little bit of time. Crucial errors at the end, where you've seen Centralia with a turnover and a few bad shots, but you couldn't really ask for more if you're Centralia. You had the opportunities, just wasn't able to pull it off.
But here's something we see, Edmund. We see that Calvin Edwards does take it upon himself in the fourth quarter to, especially when it comes down to the last second shots. He takes it upon himself to be the man, and we've seen that in the past few games, and it's come down to the wire in the past few games, and it's kind of a difficult situation because it's easy to say, hey, we want easy shots, but it seems like Centralia just more. Granted there was lockdown defense by the Titans tonight, but it just seems like Centralia just they played, but they just didn't want it. I don't know how else to describe it. That they just kind of spectate and pray that Edwards does the work for them. It seems, not to down on any of the teammates whatsoever, but it just seems that Calvin takes that upon himself, and you'd like to see coaching for that exact moment, because this is like the third game that we've seen this situation, and so you need team to practice the emotions so that better shots are taken, and patience is very key as well, with that end of the game crunch time plays.
Yep, and leading scorers for Tacoma was Gathers and Blackwell. Blackwell with 14, Gathers with 13. Gathers on 13 points on 5 of 10 shooting, 1 of 3 from the three-point line, 2 of 3 from the free throws. Blackwell 6 of 12 from the field, 2 of 4 from the free throw line, so overall shooting 50%. Leading in rebounds is a collective effort from Tacoma, as there's multiple players with 3 and a few players with 2 rebounds. For Centralia, the leading rebounder was Dume. Dume also led in minutes. Second in points to Marced Farley. Marced Farley with 13 points on 5 of 9 shooting. 1 of 1 from the free throw line. Big assist numbers for Centralia is Calvin Edwards with 4 assists. Calvin Edwards also with 5 turnovers, leads his team in turnovers in this game. So Edwards just needs to do a little bit better job of handling the basketball if the offense is going to be ran through him.